later. Okay, so today's class is, actually I'm really excited about this class. I think it's really fun and it's a great discovery. And this class is about varying your mark making. So we're going to get away from the boring straight outline, which does have its purpose, but in this class, it does not have a purpose. So we're going to talk about all different ways of using lines to describe things like volume, space, value, movement, direction, and we're going to get away from the outline. And this is a really great opportunity to explore being a little bit more free and messy, but still creating interesting drawings. So why we do this is also to get away from thinking about outlines, right? And to start thinking about objects in different ways, like their volume, their shape, their movements and directions. It's really important to explore different ways of drawing, also because then you might find something that really works for you and interests you, and once it makes you want to keep drawing, which is important. So I'm actually going to share a few drawings with you just to give you some ideas of what I'm talking about. So let me just share my screen. Here we go. So here's a drawing that I really love, and it's a drawing by Van Gogh. Whoa. And as you can see here, he's used all different kinds of lines, right? Not only are they different in thickness and width, right? There are dots, dashes, there are lines that describe direction and movement and also texture, right? Like, so these dots on the ground maybe describe texture, and the round lines going around the trees, right, are describing the volume or the roundness of the tree. All right, here he's used broken lines in the sky, right, and he's describing this sort of like halo and how bright the sun really is. And here he's used these really dark sort of sideways scribble hatch lines to show the darkness of the trees. And then here up at the top, look how thick these lines are to describe the masses of the foliage, right? He hasn't drawn every every leaf, excuse me. He's just really indicating the overall masses of the trees. Here's a portrait that I really love and think is so beautiful. And this is done with what we would probably just call scribbling, right? And there's no outline. You notice that this artist did not outline and then fill in with scribbles. His scribbles, right, made the outline. And see where they get thicker and thicker and thicker, show the shadows. And the direction, right, can show the roundness of the neck or of the nose, right? And the more light in between, the more light we see on the face. Here are just some ideas, right? These are by no means the only kinds of lines or marks that you can use for drawing, but there are some ideas. Stippling is just making dots, right? Or some variation of dots using a pen or pencil. And the linear hatching is just using lines, overlaying lines. Scumbling is what I would just call doodling or scribbling, right? That sort of like circular marks, like in that last drawing we saw. And the cross hatching is a little bit more systematic, right? This particular one has lines going vertically and then back over horizontally, but they could also be diagonal. This is a whole little sample of different ideas. So I really like some of these curved lines, or you can start to see you can make diagonal lines, lines going every which way, or no lines at all, right? Just a scribble. So basically, there's no one way to do this. Okay. Let me see if I can get back to you for a second. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually look at a Van Gogh drawing, and we're gonna spend a few minutes copying one area of it. Now, copying drawings is actually something that pretty much all art students do. I've spent years copying drawings, and all different kinds of drawings, like classical drawings, all the way to contemporary drawings. And the reason why we do that is because it starts to let you think in a new way, right? You're actually starting to follow the thought process of the artist when they made this drawing. And it gives you access to a whole new way of working and thinking that you may not have tried before. So we're going to spend just a few minutes, actually just a short period of time, copying one portion or area of a drawing, just to start to get into the idea of how to use different marks rather than outlining. And then we're going to make some of our own drawings and just experiment with different kinds of mark making to make our own drawing. So does anybody have any questions, any comments, anything they want to say before we start? Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is share my screen with you, and we're just going to take 4 minutes. And we're going to pick an area of a drawing to copy. So if anybody can't see, please speak up. I currently can't see the chat box, but if you can't see this image for any reason, please unmute yourself and let me know. Otherwise, just pick one area. Now notice how in this drawing, there's no real outline, but pretty much every area is defined. The portrait, the beard, the jacket, the hat, right? So maybe the hat was outlined on the top or on our right side of the shoulder. But really, there are hardly any outlines here. So I'd say just focus on one area, like the hat, and try and see if you can copy it, either in a pen or pencil. Right? This was done with probably a cane pen, which is made from bamboo and ink, is my guess. But we're just going to pick any area, or the jacket, or the beard, the nose, whatever looks interesting to you and you want to try it. And we're going to take 4 minutes and make our own copy. Okay, you ready? And start. And just 30 more seconds. Okay, and stop. Okay, so I'd love to hear how that went. Was it challenging? Was it fun? Was it easy? Did you learn anything from just, it doesn't matter, right, if it looks just like the drawing. The point of this exercise was to start looking at and noticing the artist lines and how he approached this drawing. Right. In this case, somebody says, not so easy. Okay, why not? What did you find hard about it?
Kelly, it made me wonder where he actually started his drawing. It's like, where do you start in a drawing like this?
Okay, that's a great question. Like, where do you start? I mean, in any drawing, right? So, where did you start?
I started with the nose, but that's where I chose to start. I'm sure other people picked other areas, but I still felt like no matter where you start, it's sort of, it really gives you respect for putting it together as a whole.
Yeah, so it's sort of like putting the pieces of a puzzle together. I did the hat, and then I started to move down into the face. That's just where I started, yeah. And who knows, like maybe he did even a sketchy outline first in pencil, but I kind of don't think so, but I'm not sure, right? Mimi said it was very refreshing. I work with watercolor mostly, so only using marks is very uncomfortable. Ha ha ha. Yes, great. Yeah, trying something that makes you uncomfortable is really good because it has you think in a whole new way, right? And you can start to see things in a new way.
Kelly,
Okay.
this is Marcia.
Hi, Marcia.
What I thought it was challenging, but what I found interesting was to see how the direction and space of the lines could give you a sense. I did the hat, like the shape of the hat, I guess, or the bending and that kind of thing. So it was fascinating because just kind of doing them at first and really noticing the shape of the marks, right? the content of the marks and then the shape of the marks also and the contour of it. So it's definitely challenging to try to copy it, but interesting. I like it.
Yeah, in this case, the lines that he used on the hat were directional, right? They were describing the direction or the volume of the hat. Yeah. That's great. It's great that you tried it. Okay, cool. Someone said, Diane said, I started at the top with the background. Oh, great. And worked down to the nose. I love the variety of mark. Yeah, and so it's really interesting. He even treated the background, right, with these very specific thinner cross-hatched lines. That's great. Yeah, so even working with the background up against the subject, right, is an interesting way to even understand how do you treat one versus the other. Excellent. And Teresa says, I also started at the top, from the bottom of the hat. I think it was having the security of an outline. Yeah, so right, the outline is something we really hold on to, right, for dear life. That's great to notice. So does anybody else want to share? We're going to make our own drawings now. Okay. So Yeah, Betta. Okay, do you want to share? Let me, I might, sure.
Start my video, eccolo qua. Suffer face,
Wow, you're very fast. Beautiful.
bah,
Wow.
so and so.
Yeah, so what was your experience?
I wrote it down. It was more challenging than I thought because it's not so easy to give the volumes just without lines. I'm not good in giving volumes anyway, but in particular with lines.
Yeah, so his lines were very specific in following the direction, right, of the volume and the plane. Right.
Yes.
Very cool. Hey, somebody was just sharing their screen. Would they mind to share again? Was it Elena? Okay. Okay. So, oh yeah,
Like,
let's see.
I'm not really familiar with the share screen.
Yeah, that's great. It's working perfectly.
So if I stop
Wow, so
sharing,
well, you got really far. So, what was it like to do this? This is great.
so what I notice is that my lines are not very straight. Like I tend to have wavier lines, but like his lines are really straight.
Right. So, his lines were straighter than yours?
Yeah, like they're more controlled. So
Yeah.
I had to make an effort to kind of make straighter lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are really nice though. Like especially in the beard, right? These lines that are kind of like, how do you call it? They're like feathering off to the side. They're really very descriptive though. And also that you seem to have like a variety of weight, right? Heavy lines and then the lighter lines. Really make a difference about, the places that are recessed.
Right.
And the shadow under the hat. Is this Mimi?
I'm Mimi's friend.
Okay. Hi, Mimi's friend. Hi, said Elena, so I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Okay.
You?
Cool. Thanks so much for sharing. Okay. So now let's make our own drawing. So I have a photograph that I'll share of a still life with a shadow, or you can draw anything that you want around you. So there are only two rules. One rule is no outlining first. And I'm really serious. Try, even if it seems like impossible, try drawing without outlining and filling it in. And the other rule is just try different lines. It's not really a rule. So think about, you can use lines like Van Gogh did, right? He really just used lines, but you can also use dots. You can break your line. You can also use circles, scribbles, hatches, anything that you want. So let's try it and just see what happens. Okay. So I have a picture here, just that we can work from if anybody wants to. You can also just, I would say, work from something from life. So something that's around you or near you. It could even be your hand, right, that you don't use for drawing. Or you can use this picture here. Let's try it again for 4 minutes, and we'll just see what happens. It'll be a good experiment. Okay, let's start. Okay, just about 30 more seconds. Okay, and stop. So even if you didn't finish, that's okay. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. So I'm very curious to hear or see what happened, if anyone wants to share. I can share my drawing. I hope you can see it because I did it in pencil. So this is my drawing that I did using scribbling marks in pencil. Okay. So I think I really like the bottle the most. I think this is the most interesting part of the drawing. Maybe the shadow and the leaves where I tried to make it darker, where there was sort of the darkest parts of the drawing. I didn't think were as successful as a little bit more free lines that has more breathing room of the bottle. But I actually really enjoyed making this drawing. So does anyone want to share what it was like, how it went, if you hated this, if you liked it, what you discovered?
Hi, Kelly. Marcia. I had a really hard time with this one. So I picked your bottle. And so I decided to do like, I don't know. It came out looking furry, I guess, or something, because I was just trying to use all kinds of different marks for it. So the shadow was small marks kind of going what I thought would be, so the, I guess, the direction of it sort of. And I started out just kind of doing circles on the bottom, but or arcs, I guess. And coming to the leaves, I just went blank, I guess. So it was like trying to do directional lines and they didn't work. So I tried circles and they didn't really work. So I tried different decks. It didn't really work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really struggled with this one. It just came. I don't know what it looks like. It looks like a plant stuffed animal.
Yeah. So what are you drawing with? Are you drawing with a pen or a pencil?
Just a regular #2 pencil.
Okay, well, if you have something like fatter, like a crayon or a marker, maybe you could try, we'll do another one, and you could try using a different tool that you really can't get fine lines with, and see if that, just using a different tool would make a difference.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, it's actually hard sometimes to be a little bit more free. I don't know, yeah.
It is for me, for sure. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Victor wants to share. Please, please share. Great.
Why does that work?
Yeah. We can see. I can see you.
Okay. I can.
Can you hold your drawing up just a little bit higher? Great. So tell us how you made this? Yeah, nice. With pen? Yeah.
Yes, it's like a tenerello.
Yeah, okay. Like a thin marker almost, yeah.
Yes. Very
Great.
fine mark.
Okay, great. So it looks a really nice drawing, right? Where there's a lot of shadow and interest, you made it a lot darker. What kinds of lines or marks did you use?
Ho usato le linee dritte E quelle arrotolate, non so dirlo in inglese.
Yeah, so like rounded and straight lines, maybe like directional lines.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Very good. So we're going to do it again in a minute. This time, try not to do the contour. Prova a non fare contorno la prossima volta, tanto per giocarci.
Ah, non l'ho fatto il contorno, però l'ho fatto con le righe.
Sì, ok.
Ma non l'ho
Bene.
fatto prima il contorno.
Okay, sorry. It's sometimes hard to see on a computer screen. Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. Very beautiful drawing. Thank you.
Thank you to you.
So, okay, so Diane says, I tried to use a variety of lines and realized that I couldn't remember all the variety of lines. Could you, yeah, show the grid again? Absolutely. So, yeah, I didn't show that for very long. So let me, if there's anybody else who wants to share, and then I'll share that I'll share that again before we do another drawing. Thanks, Diane, for asking that. Did anybody else want to share how it went, or your drawing, or what you learned?
I tried to challenge myself by doing this curly whirly lines on a wine glass. So I tried to follow your instructions of not doing the borders. It's hard to get the shadows and the shape. It may be not appropriate, but it was fun because it was a little off kilter.
I love this drawing. I think it's really cool. It has so much movement to it.
Oh man, my problem has been movement, so thanks. This is the way to go.
I think it's really nice drawing. Actually, it's really expressive. It's cool.
Really? Okay, great. This is a fun
exercise. Okay. Oh, can I send the chart by email? Yeah. How about after today's lesson, I can email it to everyone on the list, and I'll also share it on Facebook, so you can work from it again. Yeah, because in the chat you can't share. Can you share? No. In my chat, I can't share a file because I have a Chromebook and not an actual PC. So I'm going to share again the so why don't we just look at this more in detail for a moment. Whoa, sorry. So here are some, sorry guys, here are some ideas about different kinds of marks, right? So they can be scribbles, which are a little more free, right? But then they could also be more methodical marks, right? Like lines going in one direction and then another on top of each other, or not on top of each other. Or they can even be like here in the top left, there are these curved lines, right? Going in different directions and sort of intertwining. Right here, there are these nice little, they're almost like little contour tick hatching marks. So these are just some ideas. Right, sometimes if you look at an object, it will sort of inspire naturally a kind of mark, right, by its texture or shape or things like that. So we can also think about that, like do flowers inspire a certain kind of mark, which might be different from, say, a bottle, right, which might be different from a table. So it doesn't always have to be the same kind of mark. They can vary a lot. So I will also email this and share this on Facebook together with other drawings that show different kinds of mark making ideas in drawing. So now what we'll do is we're going to do this again. Mimi asked something like this. What do you mean? Sorry. Maybe I missed something.
Just attach the file of the mark making idea similar to what you. So I just uploaded one so people can see it.
Oh, thanks. Because I can't see it. So it might just be my system because I don't have like all the full options on mine. So maybe other people can see it in the chat.
That's true. Yeah,
Thank
maybe
you.
on the phone you can't see it either. Anyway, okay.
No, that's great. Thank you so much, Mimi. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna share the image. If you want to draw from the photograph with the flower coming out of the bottle, you can use that, or you can draw anything around you. Now, what I'd say for this second drawing, if you use a pencil the first time, try a pen or marker, crayon. Use a different tool for this drawing, right? And use a different mark. So it's like I made sort of these scribbles. Maybe I'll try directional lines or dots or even broken lines, right? So try a new way of mark making and try a new tool that you didn't use before, okay? Does anyone have any questions before we start? Okay, so I'm going to share the image again that you can work on if you want to. Just a second. Okay, or you can just work from something that's there around you. Okay, we'll do this for 4 minutes. Ready? And start.
Okay, just 30 more seconds. Okay, and stop. Okay, so how did it go? I'm really curious to hear and see what happened. Did you make any new discoveries the second time? Was it easier the second time? Did you have more ideas? Was it harder? So I can share mine. Oh, yes. Mimi, did you want to share? Wait, let me unmute you for, okay. Great, let's see.
Like this, can you see?
Yeah, beautiful. So, oh yeah, that's really nice. What kind of lines did you use exactly?
I started
mark,
with
sorry.
small circles. And
Yeah, and then, sorry, go ahead.
and then here I use more just straight line.
And the outline of the bottle looks like these small
Scribbles, basically. It's really difficult to keep doing the same, I don't know, because I wanted to show like the object and the shadow using different types of lines. It's really difficult to do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. So why did you want to vary it, but you didn't? You thought it would look more interesting or it would be more cohesive as a drawing if you kept the same kind of marks going.
Yeah, I thought that's why here I did circles first, and I did kind of
Yeah.
circle lines, but then it didn't look very good. So I decided to do a different type here, and I ran out of time. So, but
Yeah, you did a lot for just 4 minutes.
it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing. Great.
Mine's a big scribble, but
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, let's see it. Yeah, can you hold it? Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. I like the lines that you used on the bottle.
I use scribbles for the label. I use dots for the water. I use this. I did the
Yeah, so you
crosshatch
think
for the
that, I mean,
base of the bottle.
yes, I really like these lines. They're like directional lines that you use for the neck of the bottle.
Yeah.
They seem to really describe the shape and like the roundness, and you understand the width of it as well. But also the lines in the foliage, they give the sense of the texture of foliage. Was it challenging as an exercise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Draw it out.
Yeah, right. Right. It's good. It expands your idea of drawing a little bit. That's just cool. Thanks for sharing. Somebody said, Marcia said, sorry, let me change this. It's still tough for me. I used scribbles this time, which was more fun. Okay, good. Yeah, more fun is actually important, right? Because it keeps you engaged and curious. I mean, I think what drawing is kind of like, it's just a visual exploration, right? You can really use drawing to try and understand how the things around you work and how they're made up, right? So something that keeps you curious is important, right? Or having it be fun. And so Betta said with a soft pencil, it was quicker. Yeah, soft pencils can be really great for this exercise. Okay, does anyone else want to share? Hi, Beth. You're muted. Let me unmute you. Oh, wow. Okay, can you move a little bit this way? I can't see your book, so a little bit to your right. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. Did you prefer the pencil more than the pen, or which did you like more?
It's different. With the pencil, I get all my hands and arms dirty, so I prefer the marker.
Yes, yeah, pencil can be really dirty, yeah. But it's beautiful. This soft mark is really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, also with the foliage, because foliage is softer, so somehow it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, can you hold it? Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, really nice. Okay. Does anyone else want to share? Okay. Well, if not, then that was it for today. Obviously, these are just really, oh yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Michael and Karen, do you want to say? Hi.
Yeah. Can you see it?
Here.
Yeah, can you hold it down? There you go, right there. Okay, and back just a little bit. Nice. Yeah, so you use these sort of broken lines and some scribbles. Tell me about your drawing.
Oh, well, I used a pen for the first time. I've been using number 2 pencils every time, just because I was frightened. And I used the pen, and it was fun. It freed me up. And so I tried new things, and it was really fun.
Oh, that's a good discovery. Cool. Well, thanks for being open to trying something different.
Yeah.
That's a really nice drawing, actually. Good. I hope you'll draw in pen more then. Now the initial fright is over. Right. Pen can be intimidating because it's so dark and permanent. Okay, so Bitta has to go. That's fine. So thank you guys so much for being open and trying this. Obviously, these are just small bits of time. So the point is to give you something that you can then take away and work with on your own and spend more time sort of playing and exploring. So I'm going to stop the recording.